guys, this is Hadley. This is Jude. We are Hadley and Jude of The Scene. We have recently rebranded, and this show was formerly known as Straight Talk. If you have seen the earlier episodes, if you haven't, go ahead and look at them. They're not going to be as good as these because we're totally more focused. We got a whole new studio. We're really, trying to feel this show. So we've got some things to talk about that we hope you will find are interesting. And if you have any suggestions for another time, please remember to comment below and let us know what you want to see. Today we have selected 2 topics, and Jude, why don't you begin by telling us what you have brought to the table today? What is on the scene, Jude?
So what's happening on the scene this week? Well, the big thing is award ceremonies happening around the globe. And although things are obviously a little bit different, this is the second lot of award ceremonies that we've had in lockdown. Now, the most recent ones that are coming up are, of course, the big ones, which are the Oscars on the 25th of April. Again, the second Oscars in lockdown. So the question is, are we going to see them wearing some really stylish leisure wear or designer pajamas?
That is exactly what I would be wearing. I'm just telling you that right now. That is what a Gucci pajamas. For sure.
Yeah, getting
onesie. A onesie.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's probably likely that some of them will be wearing their full gowns and everything, because I have seen a couple of other shows where people have done that. So that's more likely, but
that would seem kind of sad to me. I mean, what do they do? Like stand in front of their living room, in front of a camera, in front of a phone, or
some of them have little parties with their families at home. So they'll
yeah.
I thought we could have a little look
Ooh.
From years gone by that are considered some of the best. Now, obviously, there have been some crazy ones that would come out as some of the worst, but we're not going to look at those today. But first off, I want to talk to you about the gorgeous Miss Halle Berry. Now, I don't know if you remember back in 2002, she was the first African-American woman to win an Academy Award for Monsters Ball. Do you remember that?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a really strong movie.
And I think Denzel Washington won Best Actor, if I remember rightly, but I'm not 100% on that. So yeah, it was a pretty poignant year. And of course, being the star of the show, Halle was the star of the show in her outfit, and I think she looks gorgeous in this Elie Saab floral gown. So as you can see, the top half was sheer, so a little bit risque, but then that's Halle. She's always got such a gorgeous figure, she can totally pull it off.
Right.
Then she's got some strategically placed embroidered flowers, which are really beautiful, and no doubt handmade, hand-stitched. And then she's got that rich, deep, dramatic satin skirt. And yeah, I think a winner all round, really. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I love it. I like the way that the romantic, you know how I'm classical romantic at heart, right? I love it. It looks very romantic, but also glamorous at the same time when you get more down towards the skirt, and then you also have the sheer, but it's still romantic and it still doesn't look too revealing, because I think all the necessary parts are covered, even though a lot is showing. So I think that's kind of a neat thing to pull off, because that's not always easy.
So yeah, so the Oscar that year for Best Dress should have gone to Halle as well, for sure. Okay, so next up we've got another gorgeous gown. This time it was worn by the beautiful Michelle Williams. Her gown was worn in 2006, and she wasn't even nominated for anything that year, but she so brought it with her outfit. It's a saffron-coloured Vera Wang dress, and I have to say it screams 1920s glamour. It's so beautiful, and with the red lips, it's just
you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
No, she looks gorgeous. Yeah, nothing more you can say. It's got that kind of layered front, which looks kind of quite relaxed, and then it's got a kind of gathered skirt. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
So next up, we have got a classic. We've got Nicole Kidman.
Oh.
And she always brings it. She always looks great.
This is
Dress,
fantastic.
yeah, this dress is from 2007. And it's a striking red gown with a plunging back. You can't see the back in the picture, but it went all the way down to her lower back, and it's got this gorgeous bow at the neck with a kind of a very slim sort of train going down, and it's just so glamorous. And I think with her being slim and statuesque, and then she's got this porcelain skin and blonde hair, I just think the whole outfit screams sort of elegance and style and Oscars.
And that, like we mentioned before, with the saffron, it's such this. We have the red, the bold. It's not fading. She's not fading off in the background by any means.
No. Well, Nicole never does, because she always looks great.
Well, of course, she's pretty much looks great.
She's one of the great Hollywood beauties, I think, that will be remembered for how she looked on the red carpet.
Yeah.
In contrast, not in a bad way, we have a dress that actually was worn last year at the 2020 Oscars, and this is Sandra Oh.
Right.
Many of you will know from obviously the Grey's Anatomy and more recently Killing Eve. She wore another Elie Saab dress, this gorgeous nude sequin tulle big sleeve train, little girl's dream of a dress. And I think it's gorgeous. I mean,
I think it's fabulous.
It is. It's very different to what some of the other dresses were. But it is Oscars to me. It's kind of glamour and Hollywood and everything in between. Okay, so my final dress is again from a heavyweight of dresses of actresses. I say a heavyweight of dresses. She always looks amazing. Is my point, if I can put my teeth in. And that is Lupita Nyongo. And she is obviously a fantastic actress from 12 Years a Slave, Black Panther, amongst many other films she's been in recently. This dress is from 2014, so I think fairly early on in her career, or her kind of high points of her career. And I think she just looks breathtaking in this dress. This is a Prada baby blue dress. It's really simply cut, but I just think the contrast of the blue against her skin, is just amazing. She just looks gorgeous. What do you think?
Well, I do like the contrast very much. I think you're right. Her skin's quite dark, and the baby blue does look really striking against her skin. And of course, I love almost everything Prada. But to this one, for me, is just a little bit plain. And normally, I like plain in a lot of ways. I like simple sometimes. And I don't know, for this one it's a little too simple maybe from my taste. I like the edges around the hems, but other than that, no, I'm not a huge fan.
I think I couldn't disagree with you more. I think she looks ethereal. It's got this kind of soft lines, soft edges. It's elegant.
I do like the edges,
but it's not too fussy. And her hair, because she's got short hair, it's kind of very simply styled, and I think she looks amazing. I think you don't always have to have all the bells and whistles.
Well, I don't like a lot of bells and whistles either, because that gets tacky. But I mean, maybe something. I mean, she has some earrings on and a bracelet, but give me something. I don't know, maybe a bow. I don't know, a ruffle. Little kitty. I don't know, whatever.
A little kitty. So, would you say was your favorite?
I would have to say I'm gonna have to go with the saffron with Michelle Williams. I'm gonna have to say that's my favorite.
I'm the same there too. I think just the whole combination really worked amazingly.
Yes, beautiful.
So let's wait and see what they wear this year. I wonder if they will be as memorable as they have been in the past. But yeah, good luck
We'll
to
have that
everybody who's
history
tried.
to have that history to look back on as we look to
Yeah,
see what they were this year.
and maybe we could talk about it on the next show.
That's what I'm thinking. Sounds like a good idea. All right, so let's get to my topic. My topic is more fun than Jude's topic. Sorry, but it is. So now we get to talk about what I wanted to talk about today, and that is a hobby of sorts. I guess you could call it of mine that I've been doing for years now. Um, and it is scamming scammers. Jude, do you have like telemarketers or I don't know what they would be called, people who call you with services or telling you they have refunds for you of some sort? Do you have those people like that in Britain?
Yes, we have lots of scammers over here. I think that happens all over the world, really. People pretending to be your bank to get access to your account. I've even been caught out by somebody who's pretended to be from my internet provider and needed access to my computer and things like that. So yeah, we definitely get them here as well.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it is a global problem, I guess. um, so I'm just very anti-scam. Personally, it just really makes me angry because of the a lot of people lose like millions of dollars. I mean, they
Oh
make
yeah.
trillions of dollars probably. Um, Making these from people who believe what they're telling them and who are tricking them, and they're giving over these well, let me go into how some of these work. Maybe that'll,
Okay.
if somebody's not familiar with it.
Mhm.
What will happen is someone will call you up and they'll tell you that you're going to get some type of refund, and or you have a sum of money that you need to get, or there are several. There's an IRS scam. There's a Microsoft scam. The ones that are the saddest are the love scams. I've seen a lot of talk show video about these love scams, and they are really heartbreaking. It's usually elderly people, elderly men or women who fall for these people who they really think they have all these injuries and illnesses, and they're stuck in Nigeria trying to get home, but they can't, so they need taxes, or they can't come home, and then they were in the hospital, and then they were arrested, and then they have to pay the lawyer, and then they have to and these women think that they're bringing, and men, but these older women and men, and I'm assuming that it probably happens to other ages, but it tends to be older people, I believe.
It sounds like a form of sort of catfishing, an extreme version of catfishing
Oh
where
yeah.
people
Oh yeah.
pretend to be one thing and are actually something else completely. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
But
But
this
this is
involves
like,
money. Yeah.
yeah, and then and it's usually like old people, like I said, and that you don't usually think about catfishing older people,
No, no.
like
But you don't expect them
doesn't.
to be on media, but a lot of older people are, aren't they?
Oh yeah, like most of the ones that have seen have met through dating sites. I mean, they're
Yeah.
with it, they're hanging in there. So, but anyway, it's just really sad. I've seen some of the messages that they are
So what happens?
sent.
So what happens when they get these sub stories from these people pretending to be wherever in the world? So what do they normally? What can they are asked to do? What are they asked to do for them?
Well, there's different things. I mean, most of the time it's some type of wire fraud, or not wire fraud. I think it's considered wire fraud, actually, now that I think about. Or no, money laundering, I think, because I've seen a lot of people um, have to put cash inside of cereal boxes and mail them. And they also, another thing that's very interesting, this is a little back to the other type of scamming, but another thing that's really interesting that they want to get out of you is gift cards. That's the biggest thing that they want to get from you when they're trying to. What they do is they'll tell you that they've paid you too much money back on your refund. They're, if you don't give back the money that he sent you, then he's gonna lose his job, blah 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 blah. Then somehow they talk the guy into, or talk whoever, the victim, into purchasing gift cards, like Apple cards, Google cards are big.
Okay. So what do they do with them?
So what they want to do with them is cash them in for themselves, redeem. It's like cash money these days. It's like cash basically. And it's a way of transferring it where nothing gets, you don't have to stick it in a cereal box or something like that. It doesn't get as messy that way, I guess, maybe. So basically what I've been doing, or what I've done on several occasions anyway, I do it as much as I can. Or when I just get annoyed and just hang up the phone. There are a lot of times I do that, but if I have the time and inkling, I will pick up the scam numbers and start giving them all kinds of false information. I had a man once who was trying desperately for me to wire him money. I needed to get to a Walmart or a Western Union, and I told him I didn't have either of those in my town, that I lived in a really small town. And I just kept talking to him, and he had told me a bunch of numbers, and I hadn't written them down, of course, and there were like 1,000 numbers, and I hadn't written them down like I told him I had. And so he told me to read them back to him, and I was
what
like,
sort
"Oh
of numbers
gosh."
were they?
It was just like 857-345-1289. I mean, it was just like numbers, and I was just like, okay. So he's like, well, read those back to me, and I was like, I can't see. I've lost my glasses. I scratched them down, but I can't see. I was just trying. I mean, you will be amazed. I had one from Jamaica call once that was trying to keep me on the phone. I told him, okay, I'll go and get these gift cards. And so he wanted to know if I want, and I told him, okay, well, I've got to take a shower and get up. I just woke up. I've got to get up and take a shower, and I'll go and get these gift cards. And so he's like, do you want me to wait? And I was like, well, I'm gonna take a shower and everything. And if I had thought better, I didn't think about it at that second. But if I had thought better, I would have been like, sure, and made him just sit there while I'm taking my shower and getting ready and everything else.
So why don't you hang up on them? Why do you keep them hanging on and play along with it?
Because I feel it's like a little bit of revenge. That's one of the biggest reasons for these poor old people that I was telling you about before. The love scams are the ones that really get me. But these other scams, I mean, are just as bad. They scam, vulnerable people.
So you feel like you're kind of wasting their time and stopping them from calling someone else, potentially?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a public service.
How do these usually end? Do they get wind to you, that you get wind of the fact that you're keeping them hanging on, or do you hang up eventually? How does it usually end up?
It usually ends up them hanging up on me because I'm not great at it yet, and I don't have all the skills as kitboga does. I'm going to give another shout out to kitboga. Sorry, I said the wrong name. Kitboga, giving another shout out to him. He's got mad computer skills, and he has a virtual bank with all this money. It's not even a real bank, but he has a lot of skills on how to really scam them, so he can keep them on for so long. And but no, mine don't really stay going that long normally. I'm not really good at what I'm supposed to say to them quite yet. But I would like to warn anybody, if you do pursue this hobby, I did receive, the last call that I received was from someone I had pranked or you know, was getting back, called me and was speaking in some not so appropriate language with me. It was, I guess he was upset that I had scammed him and I owed him an inappropriate phone call or something. But no.
Yeah, I mean, this sort of thing, we wouldn't necessarily recommend
exactly
getting involved with the scammers and taking it.
Anyway, they're very, they make me so angry also. And that's another reason I feel it's a laugh on them, you know, because it's what they do is sick. It's preying on people that are vulnerable. And
so what would your advice be for a vulnerable person who might watch this? If they're wondering, well, how do I handle a caller like that? What would your recommendation be? If someone rang up and pretended to be from the bank, for example.
I mean, basically just hang up is the best thing to do. It's really a waste of time, but it's just kind of a little hobby that I kind of like sometimes. So, so, you know, I mean, it's fun to, you know, see the bad guy get a little inconvenienced, you know, something. But anyway, that's my sharing for today. And Jude, we really enjoyed, I enjoyed the fashion segment that you showed about the Oscars, and I can't wait to see what everybody's doing this year.
Yeah, well, we see those designer pajamas.
I know, right? I don't know. What are you wearing?
I haven't thought about it yet. I'll get on the phone with the designer.
Who are you wearing? That's what I should have been saying. Who are you wearing?
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we'll find that out next time after the Oscars. Maybe we'll do a little follow-up on that.
Sounds good.
And who knows what else? Like I said before, please leave a comment if you would like to hear us discuss anything. We're going to be reacting to some other things. Try to get a feel of what you guys like, what you don't like. But best way to know that is if you just leave a comment below, please. And don't forget to check all the necessary boxes so that you can catch all of our videos. We don't even really put out that many, but when we do, they're so good, right? So you definitely don't want to miss those. And that's all I've got. Jude, what about you?
That's all for me.
That's all for you. All right. Well, this is Hadley Carrington-Styles signing out. We hope to see you next time on The Scene.
Goodbye.